In the final chapters of the Mahabharata, we find Yudhishthira, the eldest Pandava, embarking on an extraordinary journey known as the Mahaprasthanika Parva, or the Great Departure. This trek symbolizes the ultimate test of human virtue and dharma. Today, we'll explore the iconic tale of Yudhishthira and his loyal companion, a dog, and how this story redefines the essence of righteousness. After ruling Hastinapura for decades, the Pandavas renounced their kingdom, choosing to seek heaven or Swarga. Alongside Yudhishthira, his brothers Bhima, Arjuna, Nakula, Sahadeva, and their wife Draupadi began the arduous climb to Mount Meru. Connected to the Himalayas, they set out their journey. They walked north over a great desert of salt and white sand beyond the Himalaya, where the sun's hollow roars had vaporized every drop of water. One by one, the companions fell. Draupadi was the first to fall. Even though she had 5 husbands, she was weighed down by her partiality to Arjuna. According to Yudhishthira, this is why she fell first. Sahadeva and Nakula, known for their intelligence and beauty, fell to pride and vanity. Arjuna, the invincible archer, was defeated by his arrogance. Bhima, the mighty warrior, could not rise above his gluttony and boastfulness. In the end, only Yudhishthira continued, suddenly accompanied by a silent, faithful dog, a seemingly unremarkable companion who would soon reveal its true importance. After endless walking, the drums of heaven thundered. Yudhishthira was greeted by Indra, the king of the gods, who arrived in a divine chariot to escort him to heaven. Indra invited him to ascend, acknowledging his virtue and worthiness to enter Swarga in his mortal form. However, Yudhishthira paused. He made a request to Indra, asking for his 4 brothers and wife, who had fallen during the journey, to join him in heaven. In response, Indra explained that they had already entered Swarga after their deaths, having earned their place despite their mortal flaws. Yudhishthira then turned to his only remaining companion, the dog who had faithfully accompanied him throughout the journey. He insisted that the dog must also be allowed to enter Swarga, as abandoning a loyal companion would go against the principles of Dharma. Indra refused, stating that the dog had no place in heaven, urging Yudhishthira to leave it behind. This moment marked a profound moral test, challenging Yudhishthira's commitment to loyalty, compassion, and righteousness. Yudhishthira refused without hesitation, standing firm in his principles. To him, loyalty and compassion were virtues that could not be compromised. He declared that he would not abandon the dog, his faithful companion, even for the promise of heaven. Yudhishthira made it clear that loyalty outweighed the allure of immortality and prosperity, saying he would rather stay behind than forsake a being that had stayed by his side. Indra reminded him of the rewards that awaited, a place in heaven, eternal life and prosperity. Yet Yudhishthira's resolve did not waver. He rejected the idea of leaving the dog, stating that even if heaven were offered to him by a god, he would not betray the trust of his loyal companion. In that moment, the dog revealed its true form. It was Dharma, the personification of righteousness and Yudhishthira's divine father. This was not an ordinary test, but the ultimate trial of Yudhishthira's adherence to Dharma. You have proven that virtue is not found in acts of greatness alone, but in unwavering loyalty and compassion. You are truly deserving of Swarga. Yudhishthira ascended to heaven, not as a mortal king, but as an eternal symbol of righteousness and loyalty. His actions remind us that true Dharma transcends personal gain, even in the face of divine temptation. Yudhishthira's journey to heaven, accompanied by the loyal dog, is much more than just a story of moral choices. It's a profound reflection on the concept of Dharma and how it guides us to live a life of righteousness, compassion, and selflessness. What is Dharma? In Hinduism, Dharma refers to the moral and ethical duties that each individual must follow. It is not a rigid set of rules or commandments, but a principle deeply tied to one's role, context, and responsibilities. For Yudhishthira, his dharma as a compassionate and virtuous individual required him to remain loyal to the dog, even when tempted by the gates of heaven. At first glance, Yudhishthira's loyalty to the dog might seem like an attachment, but there's a key difference. Attachment is driven by selfish desire or dependence. while dharma stems from a sense of responsibility and moral integrity. Yudhishthira didn't cling to the dog out of weakness. He chose to protect it because it was the right thing to do, a choice made without expectation of reward. This story also highlights how dharma differs from the commandments found in other religions. In those traditions, moral conduct is often guided by universal, unchanging rules, such as the 10 Commandments or the 5 pillars of Islam, which are seen as divine instructions for all humanity. In contrast, dharma is flexible and personal. It changes depending on your role in society, your stage of life, and the circumstances you face. For example, the dharma of a warrior like Arjuna in the Mahabharata is different from that of a sage or a student. Dharma is not about one-size-fits-all rules, it's about understanding your unique duty in any given moment. Yudhishthira's story teaches us that righteousness isn't about blind obedience to rules. It's about making thoughtful, compassionate choices that align with your higher principles. It asks us to reflect on our actions and ask, are we doing what's right or what's easy? Are we staying true to our responsibilities even when it's inconvenient? Though rooted in Hindu philosophy, the lesson of dharma transcends religion. It reminds us that true morality is not about rewards or fear of punishment. It's about living with integrity and compassion, even when the path is difficult. So, what is your dharma? How do you make choices in your own life that align with your highest values? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below. And if this story inspired you, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more explorations of Hindu mythology and its timeless lessons. Thank you for watching. And remember, the path of righteousness is not always easy, but it is always worth walking.